Hello for the 15th Sunday in Ordinary Time. Big title for this homily, this small homily. Title is The Good Samaritan, the Bad Priest, and the Good God. Well, for years and years, and still, I'm sort of tired of Larry Hehman feeling guilty when I pass up a hitchhiker. I don't do that much anymore. But many times in the same week, I'll pass up that person, that beggar standing on the corner with that cardboard sign, out there just sort of shaking it in front of you. Homeless, need money, God bless. And I keep zipping by. I just heard on the radio yesterday that 95% of those people on the corner is a ripoff. I don't know. I'm just saying. I feel guilty when I pass them up. Well, that sort of brings us to the Good Samaritan. The Good Samaritan, uh, we're called to give our money and all this stuff. I had another interesting this week. I'm making out my will. And I decided, and I called over one of the Jehovah's Witnesses, one of the elders, and I said, Si, come here, I want to tell you something. I put in my will that the Jehovah's Witnesses are the first to get dibs and buy this place. God, he was delighted, elated, and thankful. Made me feel good. But I think that's what I should do for the Jehovah's Witnesses. That might be a far cry from the Good Samaritan story, but we have times that we should do something or not do something or whatever. And this is one of the best stories of Jesus found in Luke today, where he talks about that Good Samaritan. Not the bad priest who walks down, finds the guy half dead, and sort of walks on the other side of the street and passes him by. I pass a lot of people by. How about you? But the Good Samaritan, the people that the Jews hated the most, the Good Samaritan was moved to compassion, sympathized with the poor guy lying in the street, and then did what he did. Indeed, he was a Good Samaritan. But I'd like to take that story and sort of turn it around or use it another way and say, I think that Good Samaritan is like God himself. God himself dropped all his plans and became one of us, and then through Jesus Christ, he left heaven and became a human being. He stopped his plans or him being the God the way he was being God, whatever that is. He sacrificed for the other person. He had sympathy. He suffered with. He had compassion. And he went over and started to take care of that dying man. And he started to treat his wounds. And the interesting thing I thought, I was reading this, but as far as he took his animal and made an ambulance out of his animal and put him on his mount and took him to the inn. An ambulance? Yeah. And then he told the innkeeper, you take care of him, you finish the job, and I'll leave you some money. And I should do my thing, this journey that I got on. I'll come back, and if you spend any more money, I'll pay you. Wow. He was a good Samaritan. And then toward the end, Jesus in the Gospels said, well, go and do likewise. Do likewise. I think that Good Samaritan represents God Himself. That Good Samaritan can represent Jesus Himself. What He did, He tells us do likewise. That's the end of it all. How about you? You like this parable or this story, this found in the gospel? You know, there, as I said, there's two really good ones, and this is one of them that I think is really a good one. And the other really good one is a prodigal son story. Those two renegade sons of his, and they really were both stinkers. And he forgives them, and he gives all his money to one son, and he welcomes back the reprobate son. And not just me, but many of the scholars say, hey, this is a misnamed parable, the prodigal son. It should be called the loving, forgiving Father, because that too radiates who God is, how God is, and how God acts. Huh, that's interesting. How do you feel about these two parables? I just think they put a little healthy tension when I pass by the hitchhiker, or I pass by the guy that's trying to take my money or needs help. And the invitation of Jesus said, go do likewise. We have to put it inside, bubble it up, and act accordingly. Do you agree? Do you like it? Or could you feel guilty sometime when you pass by? Good question. Have a good day.